So where was the boy's mother during the alleged abuse? She says she dropped him off for a visit 2 years ago at his paternal grandparents' house. She claims that Jordan's dad picked him up from that visit and never brought him back. What I want people to understand is that your son didn't just go missing 2 years ago and you go, well, darn that you worked and fought all along trying to get your son back.
Yes. As soon as I got off the phone with him that day, I called the police. And I mean, they instructed me that there was nothing that they could do for me.
You had custody of your son.
We had never gone to court for custody.
There was nothing formal, even though y'all had split.
Yes.
You know where your child was inside that house. Mm-hmm. Did you knock on the door?
Oh, yes.
Did you say,
yes,
I want my son back?
I left notes on the door. I went over there with police officers. They wouldn't answer the door. They wouldn't answer my phone calls. They wouldn't reply to text messages, nothing.
Did you file a motion with the court for custody?
Yes. I filed with the Attorney General's office, and it took them almost 8 months to get me a court date.
And during all this time, you have no access to your son?
None. I messaged Tammi on Facebook begging her to just let me have some time with my child.
And what kind of response would you get?
All negative. She messaged me on Facebook threatening to file restraining orders on me for threatening her children. I never threatened her children. All I asked was to see my own child.
Right. What was it like to not have your little boy? I mean...
Oh gosh, I mean, I had so many nightmares. I would wake up crying in the middle of the night. I mean, you hear people say about mother's intuition. I could truly feel that something was wrong. They completely shut me off from his life.
What was the explanation? I mean, what did his father say?
He had no reason for it other than what I really believe is spite. That's a bond that should never have been broken.
It's been 2 years, essentially, and then you get a phone call from the police.
It was the sergeant who, and I had actually called him out Friday morning to do a well child check. And Brad and Tammi were both at the house and told the officer that they had taken Jordan back to Alabama the night before. This officer actually happened to be from Alabama, and he knew how long it took to get there driving, and the time period that they were giving him did not match up. So he knew they were lying.
Okay, but this was the first that you knew that anything was wrong?
No. February the 15th, I got on my Facebook and I noticed that I had 3 messages. One was from Tammy's own brother, and then 2 of them were from women who used to babysit the children. And they were all saying, do you know where your son is? Do you know what's going on?
Knew something wasn't right.
Yes. I was so scared that they were going to find my child in a ditch somewhere.
Right.
No one could get a straight answer out of either of them where the child was. And then they found him in the hotel room in Humble with Brad and Tammi.
When this child was taken to the hospital, it's my understanding that he weighed 29 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
This isn't like he's a little thin.
No. The doctors told me that he was days away from starving to death.
You know, this is a picture taken on the gurney. What do you think when you look at this?
I think that those people are monsters. I don't understand how they could have done that to my sweet baby.
Now, according to the CPS, the officials visited the house on the 20th of February.
Yes.
And they said the child was not in this state of malnourishment.
That's a lie. I asked the pediatrician at the hospital, how long could this have gone on for it to be this bad? He told me no less than 4 months.
When you saw him in this condition, take me through that moment.
And I wanted to cry so bad, but I knew I had to be strong for him.
What is this black thing on his right shoulder?
That is a taser mark where Bradley tased him.
That's from an electrical shock.
Yes.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.